right, so you guys had a little bit of a chance to clear your mind and go back over the video yesterday before moving on to game 2. Just what's the message to the guys in the room there?
Well, I think after watching the video, we took away, as a coach, as a staff, I thought we played a lot better than what we thought. I think as a coaching staff, we kind of hang on some of the negative plays that happened to us, some of the breakdowns, the turnovers that we made in the second period. You kind of hang on to those, and you kind of forget to see what we've actually played a pretty decent game. Like I said, some of those areas like the turnovers, just managing the puck, we got to clean that up. But for the most part, I thought we played a pretty good game for our group.
Now that you had that chance to look back on it, what were some of the things that you liked that they were doing out there?
Well, I think offensively, I thought we'd move the puck around their end a little bit. I thought we were able to get shots there. I didn't think we got to their goalie to get to the net front enough. We've got to be a lot harder and a lot quicker to get there. I thought defensively we were good. I thought our sort-outs were good, and awareness of their second and third guy coming into the play. So, stuff that we talked about, last week, what to see, what to expect. I thought our guys picked it up fairly well.
There were some really good chances for you guys. There were a couple of posts in there and everything. Yeah. I'm curious for you, how do you balance structure with letting an offense like that kind of run wild?
Yeah, I think, I think at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think you got to take it with what it was, and we had some missed opportunities as they did. That's just how it goes. You can't worry about some of those breaks. I mean, obviously their third goal was one of those lucky bounces that came over our goalie and got tipped, but you got to live with it. You got to move on, forget it. Like I said, I think our team game, there's some areas we talked about, like the turnovers and managing the game in certain areas of the ice. We have to clean up, and we do that and bring a little bit more urgency. I think we'll be okay.
If you look back to 2022, I think Seattle won game 1 of that series
as
well. Do you draw any lessons from that?
There's a lot of examples you can use, whether you want to go back and use the 2022 like we did with them, the Oil Kings, or what you see right now in the playoffs in the NHL and in the WHL, of how teams win the first one, lose the second one, or they lose both and they got to go home and win both. So there's a lot of different things you can lean on and talk to the kids about. I think they understand. And the biggest thing is we already forgot about that game when we left the rink the other night, which was good for our group. They have a good tendency to forget the things and be ready to move on to the next game. And I thought that's one thing that's been good with our group this year.
Another one I wanted to ask you about 2022, kind of to now. How have you seen Shea Van Holm's game grow?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Shea, he was 16 then, obviously just still young and still trying to understand our league. But again, he's one of those kids that was one of those guys, 16-year-olds that was, in the locker room, a guy that could, guys would, have fun with, and he was one of those guys that would have fun with other guys in the locker room. So he brought that looseness that you wanted to see in the locker room. He felt comfortable around the older guys, which was nice to see. But just to see his game, go full circle, get him as a first year, now have him as his last year as a 20-year-old, and to see the type of year that he's having, the work he's put in, has been, as a coach that had him once and then have him the second time, is very rewarding to see that.
Yeah, because he was around the league goals leaders before Andrew came to the team.
Yeah, no, he's had a great year for us. He was scoring some big goals for us, and we ask a lot for our 20-year-olds because it is their last year in the league. We want them to have a good year. We want to have fun, and we want to make sure we can do everything we can to get them their next opportunity, and but they got to put the work in, and I think that's what you see with Shea. He's put the work in this year, and hopefully it works out for him for his next opportunity.
What's made him so effective?
I just think the maturity of him. You get to understand the league a little bit more as you grow and play through the league. I think that's the biggest thing, and then understand his abilities. I think he, sometimes you come in as a young kid, you're not really sure, and then as you go, and he was able to create a lot of offense early. He gained a lot of confidence, and then as a result of that, I think his game really took off.
And we spoke to Will McIsaac a couple minutes ago. He's had some pretty crazy games in the playoffs. You think back to the 4-point night against Portland.
Yeah.
So what have you seen from him?
Yeah, with Will, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think the growth of his game is there's a lot more there. I think he's been very good for us defensively. I think sometimes he wants to be recognized as that defensive player, but there's more there from him offensively. He's a very good first pass guy, getting out of our zone. He's got some good size to be heavy down low. So the potential for him, you know, he can be that type of guy that can put those 4 points up like you said he did in Portland, and he does a good job defensively of shutting down guys.
That'll probably be very important against a team like that.
Yeah, obviously with the type of team we're playing, 100%. It's not just going to be one D; it's going to be everybody that's got to do the job, and you know, we're up for the task.